What's up everyone? Today we're talking about how to repair a rim. Now I don't mean a DIY repair where there's a scuff, I mean an actual bend in the rim. Now last night I was driving home and cruising along and boom, all of a sudden I hit a pothole. And it wasn't a pothole, it was like the Grand Canyon of potholes, and now I have a shimmy in my wheel. What do? I can promise you it's not a DIY repair, so we're gonna head off to Performance Industries and show you how to fix this wheel, because there's multiple things that can go wrong with your car just with a little tiny shimmy. That and more coming up on this super annoying episode of Drive and Protect. All the way in so that they sit on touch-up paint on. Can hear it.
Driving in New York at the end of winter is devastating to larger rims, especially lower profile tires, as there's not as much rubber between the wheel and the tire when you inevitably hit these post-snowplow craters. So today I'm visiting my old friends at Performance Industries to understand the difference between simple curb rash that can be cosmetically repaired versus a more serious bend in your wheel that creates a wobble or a vibration while you're driving.
There's a huge difference between simple curb rash and a bent wheel. The big difference is curb rash is strictly cosmetic. You can live with it. You know, if it bothers you, it bothers you. You get it fixed. If it doesn't, you can drive on this wheel every day with no issues. Now on this side here, structurally, this wheel is damaged. The harmonic vibrations, the general vibrations, you're gonna get uneven tire wear. You're gonna get different driveline component wear, bearings, situations with your drive shaft, situations with your axles that you just don't want to have because of different kinds of vibrations. You get all different kinds of bends, bends on the outsides, bends on the insides. But most importantly, you need to get it fixed ASAP.
After pulling the car inside and a quick visual inspection, nothing was super obvious, so Mario needed to check which wheel may be the culprit one by one.
Well, the first step is to remove the wheel off the vehicle. That's number one. And then once we get the wheel off the vehicle, we come this way. The main thing we want to make sure of is that it's just not a balance issue. A lot of times people think they have bent wheels. Sometimes it's just a balance issue. So what we do first is we throw it on the Hunter, the DSP 9700. And what this machine does is it measures the imbalance on your side to side, as well as your road force balance, which is your up and down. That's what this drum is here for. So what we do is we throw the wheel on the machine, we measure your imbalance, and then we find out through the machine whether it's an imbalance in the actual overall assembly of the wheel and tire combination, or just the wheel or just the tire. Once we figure out what the problem is, we take the wheel off the machine, bring it right over here to our Corgi machine, we remove the tire from the machine, and then we bring the wheel over here to the straightener. Marcos, my tech here, eventually will throw the wheel up on the machine, take his dial indicator here, and measure run out on both feeds. Once he measures the run out, it tells him exactly where the wheel is bent, and from there we begin the straightening process. We heat the wheel up, we take the chill out of the wheel. This way the aluminum is not hard and brittle and susceptible to cracking. It allows us to manipulate the aluminum without doing any further damage. The main thing is here is that I don't want to, a lot of straightening guys burn the wheel and push on it, send the customer on their way. My thing is I want to be able to straighten this wheel should you hit it again in the future. And if that takes us taking our time with it, that's what we're going to do with it.
Once Performance's proprietary machine and technique is used to safely push and pull the rim back into its original shape, you'll notice before the repair, the gauge is spinning completely around, meaning it's way over 90 thousandths of an inch out, hence the wobble in my steering wheel. However, after the repair, it's purposefully kept between 0 and 10 thousandths of an inch out from absolute round or 0. Then my question is, why not have it at 0 or 100% perfection? Here's why. A brand new factory rim will have anywhere between 10 to 30 thousandths of an inch out. Anything more than 30 thousandths is considered in need of repair. However, if you zero out the rim so it's absolutely perfect, you can't counterbalance it against the tire's natural or delivered imperfections. Meaning the tire has a natural high spot that can't be force matched, or in other words, offset by the wheel itself if the wheel is at 0. How interesting is that? It's the actual combination of the wheel's imperfections plus the tire's natural imperfections that make for a perfectly balanced rolling wheel.
You know, here's a tire. It's brand new from the factory. It's a Michelin Pilot Super Sport tire. Now, a lot of times this tire gives us and other people a hard time balancing, and the main reason why is these tires come strapped from the factory, they come strapped from the shipper, and what ends up happening is they start to conform to the shape of the strap. They get stuff thrown on them in the truck, and then when they get thrown off the truck, they hit the ground, compress, and it can cause the tire to have the bent steel bead inside of it and create an issue with balancing. It happens all the time. I've actually educated my UPS delivery guy to not throw wheels and tires off trucks because the weight of the actual tire hitting the ground, and that force, without having a wheel in it, without having air in it to support it, can actually bend your bead inside of the actual tire itself. So that's an issue that we've had in the past. And what we tend to do is when we get a tire that's been strapped to another tire sitting in a truck for a while, we'll actually throw it in our oven, soften it up a little bit, and balance the tire. And if I'm still getting excessive road force on the tire, I'll tell my customer, look, put a couple 100 miles on it, work the tire in, come back, and we'll rebalance it for you. This way you have a perfectly balanced assembly on your car with no issues.
Well guys, I'm driving home and my car feels fantastic. There's no, look at this, no shimmy in the steering wheel. The roads are still crappy here in New York, so it's a bit bumpy, but it feels great. So I wanted to show you the step-by-step process, the behind the scenes, and all the work that goes into repairing a bent rim like that. What's the main point of the video? There's curb rash and road rash. That's something that you can, fix cosmetically, and you can pay DIY or do it yourself or pay a dude to do it in your driveway, fine. But when it comes to something like, bent rims, that's legitimate, like hardcore. You're doing more damage if you're just like, you know what, it's a little shaky on my wheel and I can get around it. You're actually doing more damage to the car, so don't be foolish. Go get it done and get it done, correctly. You're gonna ask me, of course, the price. I have no idea. The price range from smaller, 16-inch wheels all the way up to 22s, or you gotta call the guys and figure that out. But what I can say is it's gonna be far cheaper to repair it than to actually replace the rim, especially these. These are 21s from Ford, the factory. I didn't put those on. Those came from the factory. So anyways, as always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, shoot me an email at larry@ammonyc.com or reach out to the guys at performanceindustries.com. Thanks for watching.